So Barry, it's been 10 years as a pro, 26 pro fights, and now you've got your title shot.
Yeah, it's been
Worth the wait?
It is worth the wait, 100%, you know. Been training 16 years in my life, 10 years as a pro, 26 fights as a professional, you know. It's took a long time, but, you know, I'm here.
Are you ready?
I'm more than ready, you know. I've been training 16 years of my life for this position, you know, for this spot right now, you know. Brendan's prepared me well. That's all I can say.
I've read somewhere that you said that this might be the only shot that you ever get in your life at a world title. Is that your mindset?
Yeah, it is 100%, you know, because, you know, it's very hard to get a shot anyway, you know, especially in this weight division, you know, featherweight, you know, all of the belts are very tied, they're all tied down. I mean, you know, I believe, you know, the IBF are the most, they stick to the rules and they're the most fairest, you know, and especially, you know, when it comes to the, you know, fight night, you know, the system's going to be more fair than the others.
Is Josh Warrington the best fighter you've faced so far?
I believe so. I believe, you know, on paper he's going to be the best fighter I've boxed, and I believe on paper, you know, I'm going to be the best fighter he's boxed.
Which is saying something, because obviously he's got a lot of respect and credibility from the wins over Lee Selby and Carl Frampton. Yeah,
you know, Lee Selby, when he boxed Lee Selby, you know, he's been struggling very badly, you know, to make the weight, and, you know, I think 2 or 3 fights ago, really, he should have moved up to, you know, it's probably sub featherweight or lightweight, you know, when he come into the gym, and when you see the size of him, you know, it's very amazing how he made that weight. And, you know, Carl Frampton, you know, since, you know, his last 3 or 4 fights, he's not looked the same. But, you know, you can't discredit you know, Warrington. At the end of the day, you only can beat the people who's in front of you. And, you know, and he's beaten both, you know, and, you know, he's got to the point now where, you know, he's fighting someone who's, you know, hungrier than him, fresher than him, you know, and, you know, is willing to go, you know, extra step than he is. There's
a healthy amount of animosity between you two, would you agree?
Yeah, it is, you know, I think, you know, as a fighter, when you find anybody, there's always got to be, you know, a certain amount of animosity. You know, you don't really want to be fighting people who, you know, are your friends and whatever. Personally, you know, I don't really, you know, I like other fighters in certain terms, but, you know, as a friendship-wise, you know, you probably wouldn't be friends with them. You know, at the end of the day, boxing's a business, and, you know, the name of the game is to win, and that's it.
These grudge fights have a good guy and a bad guy. Which one are you?
You can't really say, can you? You've got to let the people, you know, judge who's the good guy and who's the bad guy.
Who do you think the people will come that
I don't really know. I don't really know, you know.
Does it bother you?
Not really, no, you know. If people want to, you know, some people say I'm the bad guy, some people say I'm the good guy. It doesn't really matter, does it? You know, we're going to be fighting each other, you know, June the 15th, and that's all that matters.
Are you an actual Sheffield United fan, or have you been doing the football thing to get under his skin, being that he's a Leeds fan?
I'm a football fan just in general, you know. You know, it was, you know, I remember, you know, Josh Warrington saying, you know, Leeds are going to go up, you know, and all this talk, and, you know, I think, you know, beginning of the season, Leeds were actually doing well. You know, they started off well, and then, you know, they crumbled. You know, they played Derby the other day, a younger, fresher team, you know, and got absolutely destroyed. You know, they had it in the bag, and then that was it. You know, I don't really know what happened. You know, I don't think anybody knows what happened that night.
Are you going to try and wind him up more than you already have?
He winds himself up. You know, I don't really need to wind him up. You know, he's an emotional guy, and you know, he's a true Leeds fan, and you know everything that is expected, what was expected of him from, you know, the season in Leeds and everything else is not going to work from this. You know, it's not going as planned. You know, Leeds are not going up. You know, he's not unifying division. He's going to go on to fight, you know, the likes of, you know, Oscar Valdez, but it's not going to be with the IBF title.
You're going into the Lions Den?
Yeah, you know, listen, if you want to be a champion, these are the things you've got to do. You've got to go in the Lions Den, you know, and it's what it is, you know. I went over to America to box, you know, Tucker Khan in the final eliminator, went into his hometown and beat him, you know, so it's nothing new.
Warrington and his dad have said about that you should have been banned from the sport.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Well, that's their personal opinion. If that's what they think, then that's what they think. I can't really, I can't really, what's the word for it? If they think that, then they think that.
You can't change their opinion.
You can't change their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and if they think that, then they're welcome to their own opinion.
So what happened? Can I just break it down for the people
If
who...
that was the case, then how come they boxed, Dennis Salon in the final eliminator? If that was the case.
Because you got a 2-year ban.
Yeah.
That was reduced by 6 months.
Yeah.
After your brother had admitted to spiking shake.
Yeah.
And so therefore you'd failed a test.
Yeah.
How bad a period was that for you?
Listen, that's how it goes, isn't it? Life's like a roller coaster. There's ups and downs, and you've got to just try and, just try and stay on a level playing field, and that's just how it is.
You've maintained your innocence.
Yeah, I have,
But people maintain that you're guilty, though.
Well, that's it, innit? People are going to believe that I'm guilty, and people are going to believe I'm innocent. It doesn't really matter, I've gone past that point now, and, June the 15th, I'm fighting Josh Warrington, so it doesn't matter what's happened in the past, or what they think, or what they believe. June the 15th, we're getting in that ring, and that's all that matters. And
you're enrolled with VADA now?
Pardon?
You're enrolled with VADA testing?
Yeah.
Have you been tested much for this fight?
Yeah. VADA are, it's a tight, they have different rules and regulations to WADA. Some things, I think on VADA you can't even take Lemsip, so you've got to be extra careful.
Do you check everything?
Yeah, you've got to be, it doesn't matter what you're taking, Lemsip to anything, you've got to be extra careful, especially with VADA. VADA, some of their stuff that, people, some of their in VADA, some of the things we call out of competition, they say it's in competition, so you've got to be very careful.
How hard has it been for you waiting for this shot, waiting to get an opportunity? Because we've spoken a bit in the past about the politics and boxing and people getting frozen out. And you talk about Warringtons and Framptons, big fan bases, and guys that bums on seats. You're the guy that wants to spoil the party for them, aren't you? Yeah,
it is, I'm a bit like what you would call a Marvin Hagler in this day and age, people, they try to shut him out, it took me 26 fights, it took him 50 fights, I think, before he got a title shot, and but the thing is, in this game, you've got to just stay focused and keep your eye on the ball, and that's it, and eventually you'll get your shot.
Have you always maintained this outlook, or have there been times where you thought it's just not happening?
No, the thing is, you got to remember, I've been in this gym a very long time, and I've seen, people come and go, and from a very young age, Brendan told me things, and I've seen things just in the gym, and you realise what boxing is really about, and the thing is, some people, they might get a title shot, within 3 or 4 years, like Anthony Joshua did when he turned pro, and some people it might take him 10, 15 years. It's just how it is, everyone's progress and everyone's, planning how it turns out is different.
We're in the famous Ingle gym,
yeah,
where you came as a small child inspired by Naz,
yeah,
and where Brendan Ingle took you under his wing, as he has done so many children. You're arguably the last world-class fighter that he had anything to do with.
Yeah, I'm the last Brendan Ingle, who Brendan actually spent any time with. I spent the time with Brendan from the age of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, all the way up to, until he passed away last year. But, it's how it goes, we all got to, we all got to go one day, so, June the 15th, I'm going to win that title, not just for me, for him as well.
This link with Brendan, is it something of a burden that gives you pressure, or is it just a privilege that your name is alongside his?
It's a privilege, to be even, named alongside someone like him. He's one of the greatest trainers of all time. you know, they speak of, you know, Costa Mortos and, you know, Manuel Stewart and Brendan Ingle, you know, probably the best 3 trainers of all time.
What do you think he'd say to you about the Warrington fight? How do you think he'd say that you win?
The thing is, you got to remember, I've been prepared for this all my life, so, you know, Brendan's been, you know, getting me ready for this, you know. I've been preparing for this fight, you know, for the last 12 weeks like he has. I've been preparing for this fight, you know, since the age of 12 to 18 years old. You know, and Brendan's been telling me things and doing things and, you know, telling me certain things, you know, when you get in a certain position or when this happens and when that happens, we got to do this and you got to do that. And, you know, I'm more than ready for this, you know, for the fight.
Do you feel like this is your destiny, is the last piece of that Brendan Ingle puzzle? Yeah,
100%, you know, I believe this is destiny, you know. This is meant to be, you know. It's like they say, you know, in the Arabic saying, maktub, you know, it's written. And, you know, it was written for, you know, Josh Warrington to beat, you know, Lee Selby that night and even Carl Frampton. But, you know, and I think when he boxed them, he had 26 fights, you know. 2008 was a great year for him. But 2019, there's a hungry lion and that, you know, the hungry lion's Kid Galahad, and 2019, you know, it's going to be my year.